outdoor friends. My name is Tim, and this is the Camping Life. And my daughter and I, we decided to go do a kind of a day visit to one of the state parks that are real close to us. Wanted to go and see, how green, how thick the woods were starting to get, and possibly see if there's any of the wildflowers or anything else out there starting to bloom, what it kind of looks like now that it's kind of getting into spring and the weather's changing. We wanted to go and just hike one of the trails and see what it kind of looked like now. So that's what this video is. And hey, we got to run into a little bit of wildlife in the process, and yes, things are starting to bloom and things are getting green and thick, and yeah, I'm ready to go do a little summer camping. So that'll be coming up before too long. But hey, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. That way when some of our videos come out with some information on the different parks that we go to, the campsites, some of the trails, things to do. Hey, we even go to other places where, I guess they're, can't say they're tourist places, but there are places where you can take your family and have some fun, enjoy, being in the outdoors. So you may see some of that in some of my videos. Share with others. We'd love to have them come and check out our videos, and who knows, maybe they'll enjoy them, get inspired to get out there and enjoy life a little bit. Hey, that would be great. Also, if you do go out and, go hiking or go camping or enjoy the outdoors, hey, leave me a comment. Maybe you have a story that you'd like to share with some of the things that you've done, some of the activities you've done. That would be pretty awesome, being able to kind of communicate with some of the fans out here. Also, you can really help me out if you would start smashing that like button. I'm beginning to think nobody likes my videos, or not really sure, but I look at it, hey, you're giving me a thumbs up. That being 73 years of age, get out here and hike some of these crazy trails and some of the things I do, that kind of gives me some incentive that you're saying, hey, you're doing pretty good, old man. Keep it up. Anyways, let's just go ahead and get into this video. Well, back here at Purtic Creek State Park, I'm going to walk hike the Beaver Slide Trail. It was kind of winter time. Not a whole lot was growing, but it looks like things are starting to get real green again. So I'm going to walk back here and see what's changed. And here, woodpecker off in the distance. They're coming out. I can't even see through here anymore. It was pretty wide open. Yeah, we had to make 3 trips from the car back to our campsite. And we had the wagon. Of course, I had one of those cheap wagons that had the small wheels. Well, it had been it. So I had to get a different wagon, more of an all-terrain, bigger tires on it. Yep. Can't take the shortcut no more. Used to be able to cut right through there. right down that little path there. There's a little inlet that runs up right through here from the lake. And right down in there is a good place to go fishing. Right there off the shore. And I didn't even know it was there. Been here like 4 or 5 times and never knew it was there until I actually saw somebody from the other side down in there fishing. So when I come back over here trying to find how they got down there, and it's right back there. But I never saw it because we always took that little shortcut instead of going all the way around the curve. Now I can find this spot here that goes down in there, but when I walked down in there, it didn't look like the same area. But down in there's where you'll see a lot of ducks and
big old tree itself.
Yeah, you find that all over the place. I think this tree's kind of cool.
It is neat.
Oh, not on that tree. And they say trees that have like that on it, it's a tree that had stress.
Oh, really?
Yeah, is how that's done. And the only thing I can think is when it was growing, there was something keeping it from growing, was kind of blocking it.
Looks like it's kind of started to do it again.
So it stressed it out. Exactly what they mean by stress, I have no idea, but they say it's because the tree was stressed.
Some of there's roots on top of it that had to try to grow around.
Yeah. Well, there's one place over on one of the other trails where the tree comes up, kind of like when we walked that A trail where the tree came up and then went across and then went on up. Yeah. It's like something blocked it from being able to grow up, so it grew out to get around it and then went back upright. Thought maybe start seeing some wildflowers or something starting to bloom. There's the first bridge. First day we'll come out hiking on a trail. This is about where I made it. How we wore out. I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to have to do a lot of exercise or something to get back in shape to do this. That used to be the old trail. And they made it a little easier one. And this was fun getting my wagon over. Which I saw many people trying to do it that way. We came up and around down through here. But I watched people come over that and dump their stuff all over the ground, trying to get over it. There's water down there that was bone dry last time I was here, so I don't know. Well, we haven't had enough rain to fill up the lake to come back up in that far. It hadn't been raining, so shouldn't be any water coming down through there. Well, there's water flowing. Not fast, but
they're coming from somewhere. Guess I probably left the water on in our pool again, filling up the lake.
over at the house.
Yeah.
Gotten some water in here because that's got water in it now. That's where I always wanted to go fishing one time, and he caught 2 crawdads. And then Braxton was carrying the bucket and the handle broke. Of course, it splattered. They just put him back in the water where they needed to be anyway. Instead of taking them home, because they did have a bird blind up here where you could kind of view the geese and other animals that come up in here. But they tore it down, I guess. I don't know if they were going to replace it or it was just rotting out. Huh?
I guess movement from the birds.
That could be wind blowing waves up in from the looks of it. There's where they had that blind, where you can see all that out there. back over in there is where that one path that I said you could come down to fish back in over there. I've seen deer in here. I've seen armadillos in here. I've seen a crazy squirrel. They say that there's even beaver up in here, somewhere through here. I haven't seen any of those.
Flying around me.
Yeah, I saw a thing on think it was YouTube, on one of the parks, and they were talking about bumblebees.
Oh gosh.
And they said bumblebees are not out to hurt humans. That's not what they want to know. And if they land on you,
don't freak out.
No, don't freak out, because they won't sting you, but they'll give you a warning sign.
Don't mess with
them. They'll start raising the leg.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said, wonder what idiot was tested this theory out.
Well, hi, little buddy. I've always heard they can smell fear, or they can sense it, and then they get scared, and that's when they go in attack mode. It's
like wasps. I mean, I've been in pools and had my hand there, and they'll be walking all over me, and but I think what they start feeling is
heart race.
Yeah, your heart start racing, so the blood's pumping, and they feel that vibration or whatever.
Yeah, that's why I was able to just shoo them off gently, but kind of depends too if you're going near their nest and they're going to attack.
Well, yeah, if you're disturbing something like that, like any animal, they're going to protect the hive or whatever. Yeah, that's the way the park people got to come in to get to that restroom back there to clean it.
Oh, it's a restroom?
Yeah, a little outhouse. No running water, no lights on the inside, so if you're going in there and you're going to close the door, you better have a light with you. But it does have a solar light to the outside. But I mean, they keep it clean. That's either that or walk all the way back out where we started from. If you're back here camping, say, not me, I'm out in nature, I'm out in the woods.
Yeah.
Find me a tree. Yep. Sound like cardinals. Yep. Nice little shaded dark spot. Don't see nothing moving. Not seeing much in the way of any deer or armadillos. Hearing a lot of birds though. Huh? Yeah. I'm trying to scare people off.
Yeah, I see something moving.
Yeah. Hey, come to a park. You might see creatures like this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Big old tree. Avatar, are you up there? Yeah, I mean, all this open over here, they could put in a lot more primitive campsites.
Yeah.
Over through here. But supposedly they're supposed to be going to be putting in more campsites. Don't know when or where. I mean, they had to close.
There's a little squirrel playing.
Huh?
There's a squirrel playing. Over there.
Yeah, glaring into the sun. There we go. Yeah, I had one where it took off running. It ran around, went across, and ran back up that side, kind of circling around me. And I mean, it was moving quick, like something was chasing it. There. Squirrel on crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think they would allow you to get a lot of this dead wood to burn at your campsites, but you're not allowed to burn it.
Oh, really?
No. They say it's a food source for birds because the bugs will nest in it, and they'll come down and get the bugs from it. Looks like a game trail path that goes back through there. Everything's greened up, but not seeing much in the way of any type of flowers or berries or anything like that. Still must be early. like it's starting to bud little flowers. I think this is one of the bushes get like those red berries on it. And it's flowering now where they'll start forming berries, something for Braxton to eat. Ah.
Whoa. That's trying to kill me.
That's a trip line.
I tried to grip. I got something.
Where was I?
Wow.
Trying to think if that was on this trail I kept talking about, you know. I know everybody likes to look around, you know, look at the scenery and look for animals and everything, but I said you need to keep an eye on where you're walking too, because roots are sticking out of the ground, or you know, rocks or little holes or ditches, and you know. And no sooner after I said it, I caught just a little one sticking over the ground, just like, oh, like that right there. Yeah. So I said, what I do is pretty much when I'm walking where I'm walking, and if I want to look, then I'll stop and, you know, kind of look around. They said, no, you can't leave. That's Groot's cousin.
Groot's, yeah. We got a Groot on down the pathway. Try to kill me.
Could you imagine having to carry all your camping gear back in this far?
It'd have to be a backpack.
Well, it'd be backpack. I had a backpack and a wagon and everything else. Still made 3 trips. By the time we put the brought all the tents and everything in,
gosh.
Then went back after the coolers, and then had to go back out after the firewood.
Oh gosh, the firewood would be the fun part. But you can burn?
Oh yeah, I mean you bring your own firewood.
Bring your own, okay.
You just can't burn. Of course, I know there's a lot of people who does burn a lot of wood in here, but you know. But we're coming up to the first campsite this way, which is the last campsite coming from the other direction. But it's one of the ones that are hidden down in and around. I mean, it's a pretty big area where you can get like 3 or 4 tents in there. Got a fire pit. And you're right on the water. But I mean, you can't see from the trail because it goes down back and around, you know. That'd be like one of the ones I like because I don't have nobody that side. Mm-hmm. And the other one, you know, you're probably a good 100 foot or better in between, you know, each site. Of course, coming through here early in the morning, spider webs, just walking right through them. Ooh. There's a, what park was that? It was Lake Tawakoni. There was one of the trails me and Braxton were walking, and you come to a tree that I think it was still alive, and it was just, everything else was brown, you know, nothing growing, everything kind of died. But this one tree, I mean, it was just covered with this bright, fluorescent, almost looking moss all over the branches, everywhere. You know, it was cool. Hey, I see some wildflower here.
Oh, look there.
Yeah, kind of get it. Hey, finally see some flowers in the park. Spring's here, almost. I really thought I'd see a lot more, though. Basically, what, next time, just buy me some packs of wildflowers. Sprinkle them.
Yeah, they're just not blooming.
I don't know what those are. What kind of plant that is. But they're starting to come up. Whatever it is. If you know what kind of plant this is, leave me a comment. But don't leave me the scientific college word name. I want the high school layman's name, something that you can pronounce. I don't know if he, I was going to say, he'd probably take a picture of it and he'll tell you what kind of plant it is. And if it says non-recognizable, then it's not from this earth.
Yeah. So the plant in the image is plantain leaves. They're called pussy toes.
What?
That's what it says.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Show more.
I'm going to have to take their word for it. But I'm sure they're flowers. It's probably a wild.
It does have flowers. It's a fuzzy flower cluster.
Yeah.
So it'll look like
it's working on it. It just hadn't made it there yet. We got a lot more than white ones over here. And more there. That one's
so it'll look like
looks
this.
like it's kind of pinkish, but it might be because of the sun.
It'll look like that one. It's a flower. I guess that's called a flower. It's fuzzy.
Huh. Well, I say still got a little ways to go before that happens. Gnats. I haven't passed the second side. I think it's right up here. You can tell the old growth and the new growth. This brighter color. So that means them things are going to thicken in real thick before long. Spider web. Spider, you home? A bunch of little tiny butterflies flying around. That one there looks like kind of a purplish flower. Can't really tell it that well, but it's kind of a purple. I think it's a little different than the other ones. And then of course you got something here that's getting like a bud on it that's gonna flower before long. I got a book that shows all the different type of trees and plants and flowers and berries, and except there's so much in that book it'd take me a year to probably go through it all, and then I wouldn't remember half of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't Googled this.
I've seen that bush, but I still can't tell you what it is. I mean, there was a berry that was on this trail that I had no idea what it was, but then when I went to Tyler State Park, I was on an intuitive trail, and they actually showed that berry with the name of it, and I don't remember what it was. It had kind of a weird name. There's another campsite down in there, but see, if you're walking through the trail, you can see the campsite area. But there's like 4 that are somewhat hidden. Ants. Well, they're not Argentine ants, so. Yeah, of course, when I camped down here in F, I set my tent right over an ant nest.
Oh, no, you did not.
Yeah. And of course, they didn't bother me. They were right on the edge. The tarp was. But then next morning, I could see ants back there crawling around.
Oh, no.
So I said, yeah, make sure when you go tent camping, always look where you're setting up your tent. Make sure you're not setting it up in an ant bed or a little patch of cactus. Yeah, seeing a lot of baby butterflies, they must be hatching. You used to be able to see all the way down through there to the lake. But it's getting thick again. I'm thinking this is the trail me and Braxton on and saw a bald eagle. I heard something launch from a tree, and you could tell it was big because you could hear the flap of the wings. And when I looked up, I just barely saw it before it ducked behind the tree. But I know it had a big wingspan. And I'm pretty sure it was a bald eagle, but I wasn't able to catch it on camera because it was quick. But you definitely could hear it when it took off.
Is the roost open this late in the evenings, or do they close pretty early?
Do what?
Is the roost open in the evenings, or is it just breakfast and lunch?
I think it's just breakfast and lunch. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they were closed because I didn't see anything open there. I know the Huddle House is open.
Yeah.
They're open 24 hours.
Is that another camp spot? Oh,
Yeah, it's another one, but I mean, it's like I say, you see right into it. And I find that a lot of them, they're not level ground. They're on a little bit of a slope. So if you have a tent, you're sleeping. If you move a lot, you might be out the door on the ground. Yeah. Yeah, there's only 4 sites in here because I went through each one of them to see what they look like, to give a review on them. Kind of like I did the camper sites or the RV sites up there to see if the pads were level to put your trailer on, and you know how big it was, and you know a lot of them were kind of sloping, or you know lengths were different in size. So if you had a big rig, you know you're pretty much going to be parking out in the road. See, that one's not down very deep. It's right there, but it's not very big. That branch fell from somewhere. Gonna knock somebody out. Hey, come off of that tree right there. Don't you be throwing nothing at me. Or maybe chop you down. I figure being during the week, nobody here, see some animals. Other than a squirrel that was being, shh, don't see me.
Hey, JD and Amanda jealous. But well, what kind of thing is that blowing?
Mm-hmm.
What are those blowing? Some kind of
Is
weed?
that a flower? Yeah, that's some kind of flower. Ooh, there's one got a butterfly on it. You see that?
Oh,
See that one?
yeah.
Got a butterfly.
Good.
Did he get you enough? Yeah. Yeah, things are starting to bloom. Some more so than others. Change out my battery here pretty soon. About dead. Yeah, but wait for everything to start greening up. Looks a lot different than it does during winter time. And then start seeing some wildflowers and other things that's blooming. Getting the little flowers on this one. Yeah, we'll just make sure you're doing this in the middle of July. But if not, it's going to be hot out here. That one there doesn't have any cover at all. You're definitely out here in the open.
Yeah.
Hey, some of your relatives are back there. You're out here by yourself. You know, that's the marker to bring the butterflies in. Say, this way.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not it. That's G. Do the next one. Spider web.
Yeah, I've been getting plenty of them. Oh boy.
I don't know what that was. This is my campsite. Back down in there, goes down in curves, and it's got a big open space down there.
So you just walked through, found the one you wanted?
Yeah, when we were here walking, we was able to look at a couple of them, but then when I came the next time, it was during the week where there wasn't anybody here to where I could go down in a lot of them. And I walked down that and I thought, okay, that's the one we want. So went back out and checked to see if it was available, and it was available for one night. So we decided to get it for one night. And after that, I decided that walk carrying all that shit in here, it better be at least a 2-nighter, if not 3.
Right.
Break in between carrying all that stuff. a vehicle tire mark.
Yep, looks like it.
And that means he had to come all the way back around to come down in here with that, because he can't get across that bridge down here. So probably when they come back to clean out the fire pits and make sure there's no trash, that's how they come back down in here. Walking into the sun, blinding out my camera. Lots of butterflies. That one there is not a very big site, but it's a good spot for fishing. You might get 110 in there. Probably a little bit on the slope. Oh, purple flower.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, in this thing, it doesn't look very purple. It's like my screen's fluctuating back and forth
You do it from an angle away from
in color.
The sun's not hitting it.
I see a bunch of them back in there. I'll change out the battery. Well, definitely cardinals out here. I can hear a bunch of them. I don't know if you see the butterflies flying through or not. There's a lot of them out here, among other flying critters. I used up the last of my peanut butter this morning on peanut butter toast, and I'm sitting there eating, of course, Boomer's there. And I thought, that's my last bite. Alright. Been getting trail going through there. There's a lot of round spider webs there. The ones you could wear flip flops, go walking off through them, and just, That's the last campsite. I think there's 13 of them, A through M. There's a big old cocoon there. Yep, things are kind of dry down in here right now. So it looks like a lot of animal tracks. Probably deer, maybe beaver, raccoon. And we're back out here to the split, so we've made the loop. That's the way we came in. That's the way we went. That's the way we came back out. Yeah, I spent a little bit of time on that. I usually come up here and sit for 20-30 minutes, seeing if I could hear any wildlife or anything. Huh?
There's one over here a second ago.
And walking back out and fixing to make the turn to go right back up towards the car and come across a couple deer. They kind of turned around and went back the other way. Right there, isn't it? You can't quite see them through the thickness here. There we go. There's one car.
Here they come.
There's 4 of them. still knowing over there, too. There's still two over in there. I suppose I ain't going with the others. Yep, never seen my deer.